fake news is centre frame again in the US presidential contest. The media and the Democrats are looking to undermine Donald Trump's support among the US military and all those who support the military with a vicious story about him disrespecting the fallen. The story has been dismissed and labelled as fake news by the President and the White House. It's one of those cases where the Democrats and the media don't seem to care about the facts. They just run with the slur anyway. Here's a summary from Channel 7 here in Australia.
The story, an article in The Atlantic magazine, details an abandoned 2018 trip to a US cemetery in France. Claims from unnamed officials. The President said, "Why should I go to that cemetery? It's filled with losers." That the Marines buried there were suckers for getting killed, and reports he feared his hair would become dishevelled in the rain.
The Atlantic reporting is based on 4 cowardly anonymous sources.
The White House names 11 witnesses who've debunked the story, maintaining the cancelled trip was for a simple reason.
The helicopter could never fly in that kind of weather. They just write whatever they want to write.
Well, yes, they do, but is it right? Could it be true? Well, firstly, if it was true, the President was heavily criticised for cancelling this visit back in 2018. You would have thought it might have come to light before now. And second, one of the people in the meetings in France at the time has now left the White House and written a tell-all book bagging Trump. So he's just another person making money out of being a Trump critic. And even he denies hearing these comments.
Former National Security Advisor John Bolton was in a meeting to discuss whether the president should make the trip.
John Bolton, no friend of mine, but he wrote a book, and he talks about this incident, and he doesn't mention it.
Bolton told Fox News this afternoon he never heard the president mention suckers or losers in relation to U.S. war dead.
I didn't hear either of those comments or anything even resembling them. I was there at the point in time that morning when it was decided that he would not go to Undermine Cemetery. He decided not to do it because of John Kelly's recommendation. It was entirely a weather-related decision, and I thought the proper thing to do.
2 other former aides who were in the meeting confirmed the same thing to Fox News.
So there you go. For his part, Joe Biden says he doesn't know, of course, if this slur is true or not, but he attacks Trump over it anyway.
If these statements are true, the President should humbly apologize to every Gold Star mother and father and every Blue Star family that he's denigrated and insulted. Who the heck does he think he is?
That's the most fired up and focused that Joe Biden has looked for a while, isn't it? Look, this stuff is very toxic and divisive. That's American politics this year. It's the nature of this presidential campaign. Trump's enemies are trying to say the commander-in-chief has no respect for his own military and fallen veterans. They reckon this slur will damage Trump's political standing. But it also confirms his argument that they're all part of the swamp and they'll run any fake arguments, try any tactic in order to get rid of him. They like to portray Trump as a liar, but they're happy to run any smear themselves. Voters usually don't have much time for such blatant hypocrisy.